Good afternoon, my movie-loving brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday afternoon on the Screen Talk Live YouTube channel, where we talk about all things movies, movie news, and other screen-related stuff. I am, of course, your humble host, Keith Toothman. I am joined today by my friend and colleague, Trevor Farney.
That's
Trevor,
me.
how are you doing? You currently say you're Lucas Farney. You can first, you have small seconds to pretend you're him. You're him the whole time now.
Okay.
Guys, how are you guys doing this afternoon? Lots of movie stuff today. Lots of trailers dropping. Lots of stuff going on. So lots to talk about today. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can have your movie news when you need it, where you need it. Also, if you're new, we are giving away an Xbox Series S on the channel. There's a video up for that. Go check it out. But to give you a little rundown, if you send a super chat during today's live show or any live show, it enters you into a chance to win that Xbox Series S. So make sure you're sending in those super chats for your chance to win that Xbox. Other than that, just make sure you're sending in your normal comments, questions, and normal stuff in the chat. Again, if you're new around here, the way we like to do things is go over a few main topics, and at the end of the show, we like to take any of those comments, questions, or chats that you leave down there. So make sure that you're leaving them there, and then make sure you're sticking around to the end of the show to see those things get answered. I believe I do have one quick off the top thing, which is I am going to the theater later tonight to see Violent Night with David Harbour as Santa Claus. Super excited about that. So do pay attention and keep your notification bell on for my out of theater review on Violent Night. I'm going to go check it out. It is officially, Trevor, December 1st.
It is.
It is the season.
To be jolly.
Yeah, I know. I was going to go out and get some Christmas stuff, like maybe some snow to put right here or something, but busy day, so didn't get to do it, but we'll get it up there eventually. But yeah, guys, with all of that down, we are going to jump into our first main topic today. And our first main topic today is this. We just had a chance to check out the trailer for Transformers Rise of the Beast. And we want to give you our reaction and our thoughts to that. First of all, had no idea. I don't know why, but I could totally just completely forgot this thing existed and that it was happening. I do love, when I was a kid, I had the little dinosaur ones, and then I had, of course, like the jungle, the beast ones as well, and I always loved those ones, even more, honestly, than I like the cars and shit. I like those. I'm a huge dinosaur fan, though. But yeah, always loved those, and this trailer looks like a lot of fun. It looks really well done, or like, CG wise, it looks really well made. Obviously, they all kind of are, but it was unexpectedly. It was better than I expected it to be. Like I went in kind of wanting to just trash it, and I came out going, okay, maybe. Yeah, I'm not like super stoked. There's some really cool shots from the trailer. It seems like the whole world wants more Kong, as what the trailer told me. But okay, I do too.
It's good to know we're not the only ones.
And I'll take Kong in a Transformer version. Why not? What better way to get him? So, this, again, honestly, overall, I thought this was a lot of fun for a trailer that I kind of didn't expect and had not any real expectations for. I kind of had a blast with it. There was that last scene too where the guy that's in the car that the police are chasing, and they're like, pull over the car, and he's like, I'm not driving, which is hilarious.
Right.
What a situation to be in. But clearly he becomes like friends with that one, because there's a shot at the end where he pulls, skirts up, and as he's skirting up, he gets out while the thing's transforming, and everyone's just cool as hell. So really cool shot. Everything looks really good. This looks fun. This looks like something that I would go check out in theaters, while it's on the big screen and I could see these giant monster things crash into each other and fight each other and whatnot. So yeah, looking forward to this, and I can't wait to check it out when it gets here and see more trailers and marketing for this thing. Trevor, you've had a chance to check it out. Tell me, what are your thoughts on the trailer for the Rise of Beast Transformers movie?
Well, I'll be honest, I had no idea that this trailer was about to happen. I think I remember somewhere deep in my memory about someone announcing that there might be a beast, some beasts.
That's how it is for me. Like, I remember them saying, we're going to make one, but you know how that goes.
Yeah. They say they're going to make stuff all the time. It never happens. And I was like, and when the trailer first started, you didn't even tell me what was playing. So I literally, I saw it, and the way he moves and everything is exactly like Kong. So I was like, oh, they're doing like a Nega Kong thing.
Mecha Kongzilla.
Mecha Kong, right? I was like, cool. I mean, and then I was like, wait, no. Oh, and it started to hit me, and I was like, oh, this is Transformers. And when I realized it was Transformers, nothing really happened. I didn't feel any excitement or non-excitement, because at this point, I don't care at all about the Transformers movies. Even in the slightest bit. After the third one, I stopped not liking them, and I just stopped I was like, oh, I'm not gonna spend any more time thinking about these at all. Right. And that being said, I mean, it moved the dial a little bit for me. It was a pretty good trailer. I mean, you're digging it out of one of the biggest holes in movies. So I mean, you're not going to be.
That's not necessarily true, right? Because you have Bumblebee, and I don't know if you ever seen Bumblebee.
I never saw Bumblebee,
but it's like a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I've heard it's good,
and it really is. It's so good that you're like, fuck this franchise,
right? What? It could have been this good the whole time.
Why would you pull me back in?
Right.
It's number 8 or some shit, or whatever it is of Transformers crap, or 4 or 5, or it just feels like too many of them.
It feels like 6 million.
But the last one, Bumblebee, was actually pretty good. Right. So they do have one win now,
right? And it's the most recent win. Yeah, it's the most recent thing they did,
right? So, and I believe this is by those same
guys?
Yeah.
If that's the case, I mean, more you telling me that than anything else is what excites me, because, I mean, those other Transformers movies, the trailers, except for the 4th one, which even the trailers looked garbage, but those looked pretty fun. So I just, even watching a lot of the Transformers trailers, I've been bait and switched a few times by them that I'm just like, you know. So like even though they look cool, they're always gonna look cool because they don't have to, you know, put any of the story or anything in there. But there were a couple of lines that were actually funny, like in there, like when she's like, "Please don't let this be real. Please don't let this be real," and then the robot just kind of. Mm-hmm. She's just like, it's real, like that stuff. Like those were actually like funny moments, like not Michael Bay's trying to be funny moments, but yeah. So I mean, like I wouldn't say like I'm like stoked for it or anything, but I'm more excited about it now than I was before, which was not at all. Which is ultimately the point of a trailer. So it did what it did.
It definitely did its job.
Yep.
Yeah, guys, have you had a chance to check out this trailer for Rise of Beast for the new Transformers movie? I know it's pretty soon, just recently dropped out, so maybe you guys haven't had a chance to check it out yet. But do go check it out if you haven't, and let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right. With that down, we are going to move into our second main topic today. And our second main topic today is this: more trailer reactions. So a trailer we did know was coming, and that they played at CinemaCon. So a lot of people, if you were in attendance at CinemaCon, you've already seen as well. But we haven't seen it. We as the regular old fellas. And today we had a chance to see the trailer for Indiana Jones 5. And that also just dropped. I mean, it was just like, I said 44 minutes ago when I clicked on that video. So this trailer just came out, and it was exactly kind of what I expected. It was first a mixed feelings of overwhelmingly of, do I care? Like, do I even care at all? Like, at all? And then as it starts to go, you think, well, maybe I care a little bit, but then it just looks like I don't know. I don't know. This just looks like everything Indiana Jones that everyone can imagine in their head thrown into a trailer. Right. I mean, it is what it is. It's Indiana Jones 5, guys, or whatever. So, and this, unlike Transformers, last movie is coming off the worst film in the franchise that most people won't even consider a film itself, and that is Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And yeah, so it's not coming off of a big win. And then it's also coming off of all this like delays, and it took so long for this to happen. And Harrison Ford's now 174 years old. Yeah, and
it's hard to keep playing.
And it's going to show, man. You're going to see it in this thing, you know. He's like Joe Biden. He's falling asleep and shit. They're having to wake him up. It just looks bad. I mean, he throws a punch that looks so stiff in here. It is what it is. What else do you do, you know? But glad to see him in there, you know, giving it a whirl. I'm glad to see that there'll be like hopefully a closing to this whole thing, and that if there is any fans left, which, you know, I would have said I was a fan, but again, do I care now? If there is any fans left, maybe this gives them some closure to the franchise, to the hero, to Harrison Ford, to the fans, and all that. And good for you guys out there that need or want something like that. But honestly, I don't care. I don't care enough. This will not, the only way, and you mark my words on this December 1st day, the only way I go out to see this movie in theaters is if everyone I know and Rotten Tomatoes and everything's going, dude, there's no way you can't see this movie. That's the only way I'm going to see this. And I just don't see that happening. So that being said, you know, Trevor, I know you're a pretty big Indiana Jones fan. I know you're a huge fan of Shia LaBeouf, so maybe you love Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Tell us your thoughts on this trailer.
Finally a platform where I can spew my love for it now. Fun fact, Indiana Jones 4 was actually my first experience with Indiana Jones, because up until that point, I had not, because when that came out, I was 10 years old. And up until that point, it was like still too violent for me to watch for my parents. But I had turned 10, and they're like, you know what, Trevor? Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out on your birthday this year. And I was like, well, yeah, I want to go see Indiana Jones. Everyone tells me how great Indiana Jones is. And I remember as a 10-year-old going, listen, this ain't right. This ain't right. Right. Having never seen any of the other Indiana Jones movies yet. It was my first Indiana Jones movie, and I still was like, there's something not right here. And so, you know, coming off of that situation and knowing that you're just digging out of such a humongous hole that I wonder if it's even possible to even get out of there. And as I was watching, I was feeling the same as Key over here, and it just, I don't know. Like, I mean, I felt an overwhelming sense of just not really caring that it was happening. You know, like, it was like the first 3 movies of this series are some of the greatest, like, action movies of all time. Like, they're so fun.
You could argue one of the best trilogies ever made.
Yeah, really, you could. I mean, you'd have to put it up in the conversation at least. You know, and they hold up still, especially like 1 and 3. Yeah. Oh my God.
Doom is my favorite.
Really? Is that the second one?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, shoot. I love that one too. All 3 of them. I just watched them quite recently, and they're all.
In fact, we were just talking about too here on the channel that at the I can't remember the name of them, but at the awards thing they had the other day, the Best Supporting Actor award went to the kid from Temple of Doom, who now,
everything everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So
apparently he just went away and became actually a black belt and everything.
Yes,
because he is amazing.
He just watched every Jackie Chan thing ever made, and then waited for a phone call diligently. Did you see that? Like, there's a whole in Thailand. Did you see this? That there's a whole commune of Buddhist monks that they had to clear out and like arrest and shit, because there was one that they found in the city. Somehow he had wandered into the city, stole a car, like robbed some people, and they got him, and he had a bunch of meth on him. And then when they took him back, all of them were on meth. Yeah, this whole temple of Buddhist monks on meth. Yes. Yeah. Right? What the hell? And they were like shocked. They didn't even know what to do. They're like, they're Buddhist monks, man, right? We can't arrest all these fucking people,
right?
But they're all high on meth, and they don't know it. Like, they didn't know what the substance they were doing. So, like, maybe like an outsider had like introduced it in some way, like, this is, candy, or I don't know. I have no idea. But they're like, oh, this helps me be a monk so much.
Right. I'm meditating so much.
Focus.
Right,
I've been focusing for 3 days. No sleep.
Dude,
right.
My meditations are so intense I can't even see.
But yeah, so yeah, way off topic. Yep. But yeah. So glad to see him win. Yeah. Win that, and yeah, like you're saying, that it has always kind of been, as we go on further, we get so many good trilogies.
Right.
We have Lord of the Rings now.
Yeah.
We have Star Wars. We have all these things.
But
it was one of the original core best trilogies of all time.
It was really one of the first.
Yes.
Because it was like, and funny enough, Mr. Ford was in both.
Right. And you could consider it one of the big first, both of them, franchise material.
More than, because there was, things like Jaws were like some of the first, what you would call blockbusters. And then like these came along, and it was multiple ones in a row that were all part of the same series that were all like that, so it's and I have a genuine love for them, but it's crazy. And I don't think it's just Kingdom of the Crystal Skull that makes me just not at all care, but it's just, I just know, like, I love Harrison Ford. Like, he's one of the coolest dudes that's ever lived. All right. But even the coolest dude ever when he's 80 years old is 80 years old, and I don't want to see this. I want to just think this character's chilling out in retirement and having a good time, maybe drinking some mimosas or something. I don't need to see him go on one last ride and like probably have some younger person like upstage him or something. I don't know. Nothing about it was appealing to me. Right. Just make a new one. The last thing I want to say about it is like the feeling that I have with it is the feeling that I've gotten with a lot of things recently, where I'm just like, man, I get it. I get why you're trying to do this. You're trying to make the money, but like the things that really, really make money are when you make a really interesting and original concept and you put some money behind it. You know,
I think
a lot of the time.
sometimes too that in cases like this, for me personally, I'm speaking just for me, but I bet there's a lot of people that think like this too.
Mm.
Is that the character of Indy in this particular case does not outweigh or outlive the actor that's playing it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is if if we had like Robert Downey Jr. is done playing Iron Man, let's say we know that's never
Right.
gonna happen. Let's say
He's for sure.
He's Daniel Day-Lewis in it. He's going home. He's hanging up the gloves, and he's gonna sit at home and just chill. Okay, as fans, do we never want to see Iron Man again?
No, you want to see Iron Man again.
We want Iron Man again.
Yeah.
Because the character of Iron Man,
Mm-hmm.
I think, outlives whoever's
Yeah.
playing it.
But maybe not Tony Stark. I don't know if I want to see Tony Stark again. I'd see someone else as Iron Man.
I kind of get that, but do you see my point?
Yeah, totally. But
Is that in this case, I'm not sure if we care more about Indy
mm-hmm.
than we do Harrison.
Right.
Playing
Exactly.
Indiana Jones,
Exactly.
Right? And I think that's what this comes kind of down to. And we were talking about on the show this week about Tarantino and Sam Jackson bickering back and forth about what a true movie star is, and that Tarantino was saying that Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans and those guys aren't movie stars.
Mm.
That Captain America's a movie star. That Thor's a movie star. And I agree to that. However, these two things go hand in hand because whoever is playing Thor,
right.
he's a movie star, motherfucker.
Right.
He's in four movies that make $1 billion a piece. He's a movie star.
Right.
Now I get what he's saying.
Yeah, me too. I get
the
it.
truth is, there is, and this is what Anthony Mackie said. Everyone took offense to it. Who wouldn't? Especially if you're in that industry making those kind of movies with Marvel. But Mackie's like, dude, okay, cool. Who is a movie star?
Right.
Don't worry. I'll wait. Ryan Reynolds.
Not a lot left.
One.
Yeah, The Rock.
The Rock. There
That's
it is. We blew our load on movie stars, true movie stars,
right.
from what we used to consider.
People that you'd put in a movie and people will watch it just for them.
And
that's what that means.
When I was a kid,
yeah.
I would say, honestly, I truly feel like Will Smith was one of the last true ones of those movies.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp. I feel like, again, I remember me and my mom and dad and my parents and my family would go out to a Johnny Depp or a Will Smith movie. It didn't matter. All we knew is they were in it, so most likely
you're gonna be there.
We were gonna like it. So let's go.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing just does not work anymore. I think again it works for Ryan Reynolds, friend of the show, my best friend Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, good man.
Video up on the channel, guys, of a Christmas card and a gift that Ryan Reynolds sent me personally. That's nice. So make sure you go check that out. I love you, Ryan Reynolds. Still waiting for that aviation gin.
Yep. I'm still waiting for that hug. That's just for me.
But and so I think that it can work, but I think it's died off, and that version of a movie star just doesn't exist the way it used to.
Yeah.
But guys, what do you guys think of this Indiana Jones 5 trailer? Are you guys interested in this? Are you guys burnt out on it? Do you think, too little, too late? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right. Put that down. We're going to move into our third main topic today. And our third main topic today is somewhere. Give me 1 second. Bam. All right. And our third main topic today is this. So, Trevor, when Disney Plus launched, there was this big just window of nothingness. And I remember after 4 or 5 months going by, I remember thinking, do I just need to cancel this? I mean, there's nothing on here for me. And then right when I was about to, I was about to click the button damn near, and then boom, Mandalorian drops. And I remember that first season of Mandalorian just changing everything Plus when it came to what a series could mean for a big franchise like Star Wars or Marvel. Because the truth is that Mandalorian season 1, when I seen it, was the best thing Star Wars I had ever seen in my entire life. I think a lot of us feel that way. I mean, it really was. And then we got season 2, which, I mean, nothing's usually ever as good as the first thing, right? But it's still great, and I had a lot of fun with it. And then we got Book of Boba Fett, which I fucking hated.
Yeah.
But we got Mandalorian stuff in it, and the Mandalorian stuff we got in it was awesome. So good. And all it made you want to do was A, wonder why the hell we're watching Boba Fett, and B, wonder when the hell season 3 of Mandalorian was gonna fucking come out, right? and that's what I want to talk about today. And I have this article that I have pulled up here from Screen Rant. Mandalorian season 3 has set a premiere date for Disney Plus. So I want to read a little bit from this article. Lucasfilm has officially announced The Mandalorian Season 3 release date, confirming Din Djarin, which is Pedro Pascal, obviously, and Grogu return in March 2023. The third season of the hit Disney series is one of many Star Wars TV shows that was previously announced to release sometime in 2023. Audiences have waited over 2 years to see the next season of The Mandalorian. Although viewers have seen Din Djarin and Grogu, again, thanks to the Book of Boba Fett, which I mentioned moments ago, their returns allowed for Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni to reunite the duo quickly after separating them in the season 2 finale. It has now been confirmed by Lucasfilm that The Mandalorian season 3 release date on Disney Plus is on March 1st, 2023, which is right before my birthday. And that means I will be having a Mandalorian birthday. Good for me. Thank you. And this is exciting news, man. Again, I know my mic was muted a little bit ago, so you guys couldn't hear what I was saying. But The Mandalorian Season 1 was really like the best thing Star Wars I've ever seen. And I really, really love I love this series. I love this franchise. I love the little bit of tidbit of stuff that we got in Book of Boba Fett. That was the best parts of it. That show sucked besides that. So yeah, this is exciting, and I can't wait to see this. March, again, 2 years. This feels forever, man. They gotta get with it on these. And if they're gonna choose to make decisions like making Book of Boba Fett over this, then they gotta make better decisions, or they just gotta make better Book of Boba Fetts or some shit. Because this isn't what I want. I want more Mandalorian, and I don't want to have to, like here it says in the article, this release means it will be over 26 months between the new seasons of the hit series. That is ridiculous, guys. That's over 2 years. And yeah, but that being said, I'm glad it's coming. I'm glad it's in March. Like I said, March is my birthday, guys. And March is my two favorite months of every year. Is March and October, hands down, by all. Nothing even comes close. And so yeah, so March is always beautiful for me. The weather's usually getting where I want it to be, and like I said, it's my birthday, so super excited about the release date time window, but hate that it took so long for us to get this. They really got to get better at doing this, quicker at getting these out, man. I mean, if we're gonna call ourselves series, I mean, TV series come out 2 times a year sometimes, man. At least once a year. Right. So, but it used to come out like once every season or two, so yeah, so I think, and not to mention these things are usually like 8 episodes or 10 episodes. So, it cannot take 26 months, Jon Favreau and Disney, to make these things. But Trevor, you're hearing this news. Like I said, we have now, I know you're a huge Mandalorian fan. Mm-hmm. We have now a set date. I'm just going to call it now. We have now, Trevor, a set date of when we will be staying up until 2 a.m. on a weekly basis. Yes. It begins March 1st, Trevor.
That's good to know. I shall prepare my schedule.
Yes. Right, no doubt. But yeah, what are your thoughts, man?
Man, Disney Plus, man. Disney, I want so badly. There's so many things Disney has that I just want to fall in love with, but they have not figured out how to use that Disney Plus yet. They have not at all. Like, it is, there's been so many, like, unbelievably dumb misfires. Like, and that's not even to say that they've been miserably bad. A lot of the things that they've done, they haven't been. It's just been like, man, you had a chance to make something awesome here and you didn't. Yep. But as far as this one specifically, that's just crazy to me, man. I mean, you can pump out others, like you can pump out a lot of other shows, like you said, within like 6 months apart from each other, you know, full animation shows, which are such pains in the butt to do. And you can do those like, I mean, you can at least plan it. And I remember I didn't watch The Mandalorian until the second season came out, and I like watched them all. And it didn't feel very fun.
And it was at that moment that you realized the mistake you had made, right?
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, I felt nice, and I was like, oh, sweet, I get to watch the whole, like...
Right, now I'm going to sit here in my house for 2 weeks straight on the couch just watching great content.
Right. I'm going to come back, and like my hair will be even more messy than usual, you know, and we were like, what happened? It's like Mando, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you didn't see the first season, huh? Right. Okay. You know, but I remember that first one came out, and it felt like the second one was right on its heels. It was
that's
really
what I said,
fast.
Right?
What took them so long for this? It's not like, I mean, these things aren't like super full of like big animation and things like that. They're pretty like.
Yeah, I mean, street level.
Yeah, and a lot of it is practical, and so So I don't know what happened. I mean, it's wild to me that why would you ever let something that's that hot sit on the shelf for that long?
You got me,
I mean,
man.
that's just, to me, that's just such a foolish and silly thing to do, because like that's how you kill a show, you know, because. You know, you have to understand how people's attention spans work, and then especially over time.
What attention spans people have?
Yes.
Which is like none today.
And if you can catch it and then you just let it, like it will never come back.
That's
like
right.
If it's out of their attention, like it'll be gone. It could have been the thing they were most hyped for in the entire world, and the next season could be great, and none of them will watch it because you waited over 2 years to do it. And it's just like, I don't know, man. They need to right the ship now, because if they don't right the ship now, the whole thing could be crashing.
And I think we can agree to this. If Book of Boba Fett was like
awesome,
then we wouldn't be having this conversation.
No,
but you put way too much eggs in that basket, and it was clearly not a basket able to support the things you were putting in it.
No, it dropped right out.
So you had to see that coming. Like at some point, Favreau had to be like, okay, let's get Mandalorian 3 going. Like, come on.
There's no point in there where, like, as a professional filmmaker, where you don't, as a man who's made many good films, the John Favreau, he really has.
We were just talking about
Jungle Book, bro. That live action Jungle Book. That's a good movie. It's a very good movie. But, I mean, the dude has made, and Mandalorian is great, too. So it's just, I mean, you have to know
Couples Retreat.
Which one?
Couples Retreat.
Yeah, of course, Couples Retreat. How could I forget Couples Retreat?
I do love that movie, though.
I don't remember that. Wait.
It's got Vince Vaughn and the
I haven't seen that
what's the blonde girl from the movie where you go to an afterlife, or the show? Kristen. Yeah, Bell.
That's it. Yeah.
Her, Vince Vaughn, John Favreau.
I love her. I love
there's a bunch of people in there. It's fucking hilarious.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that at some point.
It's great,
but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, great filmmaker.
Like what? Ultimately, that's just kind of what I feel is I think they definitely waited too long, and at some point you had to look at that Boba Fett show and just, there's not a story in that show, which is unfortunate, because I was excited because I love Boba Fett, and I loved Boba Fett in Mandalorian, so I was like, I was stoked to see that show. And I remember and you'll remember this, when we were watching that together, I kept trying. Like, I was like, I would try.
You were trying to give it the benefit of the doubt every week. Right. Every single week.
And then it just hit me one point. I was like, this is it.
This
is it. It's actually just really bad.
I did the same thing. I did not do that with Book of Boba Fett, but I did do that with Obi-Wan. Okay. I tried to. I
was in for the first 3 episodes of Obi-Wan.
It was like better than Mandalorian. It was so good,
and it was fun.
And then it just took it was like a roller coaster in the beginning. It's just wham.
Right. It's like they forgot to finish the roller coaster, and so instead of dipping back up after the really fun like drop, you just died, like
Yeah.
right into the ground, and it was
Yeah,
like,
it's too bad.
and, and I mean, on the whole, I feel Disney Plus is just they have not figured out like how to really tell that format of a story, and like I hope they do, because I mean all of the different properties they have, and even like this is not Star Wars, but it's an example. Moon Knight. Such a cool concept. Even the ideas they explore within the show.
Again,
so
first
cool.
couple episodes, fucking stellar.
amazing.
You're like, this is gonna be the one. It's gonna be better than WandaVision or
They're finally gonna get
anything.
there. Yes.
Low-key is something.
Finally.
And then it almost, for me, honestly, for me personally, Moon Knight is like on the very bottom end of the list, just from how much it actually pissed me off.
Right.
Like, it's not as bad as,
No.
any
It's
of the
actually
other
good.
lower level ones, even like Hawkeye. It's not that bad. But I put it below Hawkeye just because fuck you, Moon Knight.
Right.
How dare you do those things and then not. Oh my God!
Yeah, I don't even like to think about Moon Knight
That's
that
how I
much.
feel about Obi-Wan too. I
Yeah.
have like a disdain for it.
I didn't even finish
because again,
Obi-Wan.
it's so good, and then all of a sudden, Darth Vader's scared of fire he created.
Right. And you're like, whoa. Or like fucking they managed to close that door without getting a drop of damn water on the outside.
Not
And I
even
was
not even a damn.
like, not one.
Not a single drop.
You didn't
Not-
even get a little splash.
Right, they could have had a dude on the other side, like, wait, okay, it's about to close there. Shh, just throw a little bucket. Shh, just get a little something in there.
Yeah, just a little-
nothing. We're good. We're just that quick with it. Yeah.
It's just the logic.
It had lots of those little holes in it, but
Man.
but guys, you guys are hearing this information about Mandalorian season 3. I'm sure you guys are excited at least that we have a date, as I'm sure you are too, Trevor. And yeah, I'm excited that at least we know it's coming out and we don't have to wait 36 months. But hopefully they can get this made in a quicker time if there's going to be a season 4.
Right.
But guys, definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right. With that down, we are going to move into our fourth main topic today. And our fourth main topic today is this. So a while back ago, when Discovery had bought DC, they had made the decision to get rid of a lot of their animation stuff and send it over to other streaming apps and kind of license it out, right? And they started doing that with a lot of stuff, Scooby-Doo, all that. But specifically with their DC stuff, they were going to do that. They had made this kind of darker HBO Max Batman animated series. It's done, ready to go and everything. And they're about to put it on HBO Max. And they were like, no, we don't want this on HBO Max. We're going to license this to somewhere else. And yeah, and so our the topic today is this article coming to us from Screen Rant, which is this big deal that the DC animation, the people at DC Animation have made with Amazon in the works right now. And I want to read a little bit of this article. A new DC Universe animation deal with Amazon is in the works, reveals Warner Brothers. TV executive Channing Dungey teasing a massive new collaboration between the two companies. 2022 has been a big year for the DC brand as Warner Brothers Discovery merger caused a change to the status quo. While several DC-based projects have been canceled, the studio is not giving up on the brand, but rather revamping its strategy as they bring more superheroes and villains to life. Even though a lot of DC live-action projects have been affected, animation has taken a significant hit as well. With Warner Brothers Discovery looking to merge HBO Max and Discovery Plus as one streaming service, it appears DC animated projects will have a new home. Dungey, who has served as the CEO and chairman of the Warner Bros. TV since 2020, revealed in an event in London via Deadline that a massive deal with Amazon is in the works. According to the Warner Bros. TV executive, the studio is looking to sign a new deal with Amazon that revolves around DC animated products. While HBO Max will still be their first stop for DC projects, Amazon will operate as another platform for them if they go through with the partnership. And this is huge for Amazon. Again, we've been talking about on the show, on the channel here for a week or two about these big moves Amazon's making, right? They said they're going to, in 2023, invest $1 billion into the theater industry. They're going to put 10 to 15 movies into theaters next year. I mean, they bought MGM Graham. They now own that. Now they're making this big, huge deal for DC Animation, where now the home of Batman Beyond, the original Batman animated series, The Mask of the Phantasm, lots of classic DC animated movies and shows may have a home at Amazon as well, which is huge because that means that they're going all in on both sides of this now, right? They're saying, hey, we're theatrical, we're pushing there, but we want content for our people who have our app too. And that, as an Amazon, I was talking to Matt the other day, he's an Amazon Prime member and didn't know that he had Amazon Prime Music and Amazon Prime Books and Amazon Prime Video and all of these things that come with it. But as an Amazon Prime user, that's awesome, dude. Like, anything they get when they get it, I see as a bonus. Like, The Boys to me was just a bonus. Like, I never expected them to have something so top shelf, but they do, and it's like, wow, what a huge bonus. But now it seems like this is really going to be a real added perk to their Prime membership. To think that, like I said, this could be home for all DC animation that's related to your biggest, IP, your Supermans, your Batmans, and all of those things. And this is huge. I'm glad to see Amazon invest in all of this money and this efforts. They clearly have a plan. I can't wait to see where else this goes. Who knows what else they do? Maybe they are able to get some Marvel animation or something, and who knows what they're going to do, but they're clearly all in on trying to compete with the Netflixes and the Apple TV Pluses and the other streaming apps that are out there now in this competition. And they're dedicating a good amount of money and, like I said, effort in this way to do so. And I think that's, like I said, as a fan, a movie fan, a film fan, we should all just be excited for this. The news of the theatrical stuff was huge, but this is huge too, like I said, because then it gives us both sides of it. We gotta have our cake and eat it too, kind of thing. And so this is very interesting news. Trevor, you're hearing this. What are your thoughts on the possibility of DC animated features? And this concludes new stuff. Like I said, that new series that they made, it could end up there too. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, from the sounds of it, sounds like it will be on both, like maybe like on the HBO or whatever app they end up doing, and Amazon. It kind of sounded like that, maybe, which I think honestly is probably a really good idea for both. If you kind of, Amazon is making a lot of very smart moves, like even just kind of outside this. I think. I mean, they're really good about, they have like partnerships with all the other different services, even if it's Stars or Showtime, where you can just add on to your Amazon membership. You don't even have to have cable, and you can watch those, and so, or even like Paramount Plus, you don't even got to leave Amazon to do it, so like little things like that, like, man, I mean, it just drags people into your service more. So even if maybe there is some Batman over, maybe even if there is animated Batman over on HBO Max, well, you're going to be staying on Amazon because you're like, well, I have my movies here, and now I've got this here. I think that's a smart.
It looks like
idea.
the animation that they will hang on to will be the more HBO Max content stuff. So like the Harley Quinn series are really R-rated,
right?
Kind of like the Spawn series was,
Okay, yeah.
But anything that's like for children, they want to get away from it. So like the Batman 90s animated series that we watched, that's not enough
That's not adult enough.
Yeah, that's not adult enough for them to have in their catalog. They
Like
want
an
this.
adult-
They want this kind of adult. HBO has always been
Yeah.
known as like this adult catalog,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So they don't want Scooby Doo in there.
Yeah,
They're
totally.
right next to a chick giving a dude a hand job. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's not a good look.
I feel that it is really kind of
But
the
Harley
grown-up
Quinn,
streaming service anyway.
the animated series next to a chick giving a hand job.
Yeah, there might be some chicks giving hand
There's
jobs
some
in that
crossplay
one.
there.
Right.
Right. It really is. If you've seen any of that animated Harley Quinn
I've
series,
seen a little bit. And I know it's dirty.
Yes.
It's
so
crazy.
there's some, like I said, there's crossplay there, but there's no, Scooby Doo's the opposite. He looks over and sees that. He's like, ruh-roh.
Right, he gets away. Poor Scooby, he's not supposed to see such things.
Better get raggy.
No, yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
That's what Rocky does.
That's good. Oh my god! Yeah, I feel like I really
But
do.
yeah,
feel like HBO
so I
Max is
think
like
that it would be more of the non-adult stuff that would
Yeah.
be going to HBO. So any of the stuff, like I said, like Harley Quinn, or like if they did a Peacemaker animated series, like they're talking about,
Yeah.
that would probably stay on HBO Max.
yeah, as it
but
should.
anything that's kind of
More kids.
kiddish. That will probably be what ends up on Amazon. But that's still, again, we say all the time that the best thing Batman ever made was that 90s
Yeah,
animated
it's
series.
you
You can call it kiddish if you want. Cool, I'll take that. But I'll also take it free
Right.
on Amazon Prime Video.
just so I can keep getting my stuff delivered 2 days later.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right.
that's the crazy thing about, it's like you said, about this Amazon Prime thing, is that it's like, really, it started out as like, well, you're already on here, we got some extra time, let's throw some movies into it. And
Right.
I remember when I first saw that there were movies on Amazon Prime, I was like, okay, like what movies could possibly be on Amazon? And then slowly, Amazon has turned out to be, I mean, I think they're number 2 in many ways. Amazon Prime is like the one that I probably go to more. I think I go to Amazon Prime more than I go to Apple or go to any of the others, because not only does it have its own movies, but if there's one that I don't have yet, I can go there and I can just rent it. So it's they have made themselves extremally useful across the board, and like not just in this, but I mean it's like you're saying with the
shit,
movie
like I said,
theaters
Matt
and
was
stuff.
talking about renting audio books, and he's like, they're just too expensive. And I came from like, well, Amazon Prime gives me like 5 free rentals a month. So and he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, dude. I literally like, and when you rent them, you can rent them until you're done with them. And so we rented Seth Rogen's yearbook when we were driving to Galveston, I believe, and we got like halfway through it, and then when we went to Colorado, we finished it, and that was like 2 months later, and we still had it. And
Nice.
at this point I had like 14 built up credits,
Man.
and I don't listen to books enough to even capitalize on something like that. Like the only time I listen to books is like when I go on a long trip like that or something, which is
right,
yeah, right,
exactly.
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, just there's so much perks with it. That's for sure.
I don't even know if I could find enough time in my schedule to listen to 5 books a month. That's
Right.
Like I mean that's all I need.
Right. Yeah,
I love books.
and then they just have like a Prime Video, but with books. So then there's like 5,000 books that you can read those whenever. But the 5 rentals, those are for books that aren't in that.
Like the public domain.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
well, it's in public domain. It's whatever they're
like service.
licensing. Yeah, right. Just like Amazon Prime Video. So if they have, The Hobbit on there right now, cool, you can listen to The Hobbit. But maybe next month The Hobbit isn't on there, so you'd have to use one of your free rentals to listen to it instead. But still, you
I
get.
gotta give it to Amazon, man. Sometimes they're
Jeffrey Bezos.
terrible as far as how they treat their
Jeffrey
workers. But you got to give it to them on the business end. I mean, this is
You
all
did it!
amazing business strategy. I mean, it's stuff that that I could never even dream of putting together. Like the fact that they could take all of these various things and make all these game-changing moves is
for sure.
It's pretty crazy.
For sure.
I think it's a very good idea for
But
them.
guys, you're hearing this information about DC Animation heading over to Amazon potentially. They're in the war room trying to work out the details of the contracts right now is what we hear. So hopefully it's worked out. But what are your guys' thoughts? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right. With that down, we're going to move on to our fifth and final main topic today. I spent lots of time making this beautiful thumbnail. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it, of the Kingdom Come, table room with Superman at the front, which I turned into James Gunn, and I have The Rock and Gal Gadot and lots of other people there. And I thought this would be the main topic today because this is really interesting to me, and it's something that I always wondered why they weren't doing. We always knew that we were leading to Thanos with Marvel, right? Even though it took forever, we always knew that that was the storyline we were in, the Infinity Saga, right? And I always wondered, what is that for DC? Why does DC not have a similar formula where we're in the Kingdom Come saga, or we're in the Apocalypse, or we're in or whatever the shit that they want to do? There's tons of storylines they could do as well, and they have it. But now you got James Gunn over there, right? And he and Peter Safran are now heading this whole thing and making their own decisions on what's going to go on. And one of the decisions that they keep teasing, at least James Gunn does on his tweeter, is the Kingdom Come comic, right? And so I have this article here brought up by Collider, and I want to read a little bit about this. There has been a lot of excitement over James Gunn and Peter Safran being named the heads of the newly established DC studios. Since this game-changing news hit the airwaves in October, Gunn has been too shy about teasing what the hasn't been too shy about teasing what the next 10 years of the DC universe would look like under his new regimen. This includes teasing characters like Lobo and Mr. Terrific. Now, the fan favorite filmmaker has just dropped arguably his juiciest tease of all, and it involves Kingdom Come. The image that Gunn dropped on his various social media pages is of the now iconic 20th anniversary cover of Kingdom Come, done by the legendary comic book artist Alex Ross. The image has Superman standing around a table with his reformed Justice League, which is the image that I used for the thumbnail. A league which includes Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, Hawkman, Aldous Hodges, Atom Smasher, definitely can't remember his real name, Red Robin, Red Arrow, Red Tornado, sounds awesome, Donna Troy, she from that 70s show, and Alan Scott's Green Lantern. Gunn accompanied the image with the simple caption, quote, "making plans." And I also put like a blueprint on the table, to insinuate that he's making plans, right? Shazam himself, Zachary Levi, even responded to Gunn's post on Instagram saying excitedly, "Fuck yes!" with a fire emoji for good measure. We love you, Zachary Levi. The article goes on, if Kingdom Come is indeed part of Gunn's, quote, plans, this could be huge for the DCU. The original 1996 miniseries, written by Mark Waid with the art done by Alex Ross, is one of the best comic book storylines ever written. It was an epic Elseworld story that saw an older Superman come out of retirement to reform the JLA after the newer generation of heroes got a bit too violent for the Man of Steel's liking. This caused him to butt heads with Batman, who didn't take kindly to DC's flagship character being away for a decade. This post-apocalyptic and futuristic storyline still has influenced over 25 years of DC. It inspired the Injustice video game franchise, and Superman alum Brandon Routh played the Kingdom Come version of the character in the CW's Arrowverse crossover, Crisis on Infinite Earths in 2019. Also, shows like Batman Beyond owe a lot to Kingdom Come's success. This is great. There's more in the article if you guys want to go check it out, where they talk about how he may. That's all speculation stuff. At the end of the day, all this really is. But I think Gunn's hinting at this is where he may be going with this, man. And this is cool. This gives us an idea of what's going on, how we could see Henry Cavill's Superman later on more involved in this. How cool would it be to see an old, rugged Henry Cavill that
still handsome.
Yeah, right. But has to come out of retirement and has to go whoop ass on, Booster Gold and, and some of these little dudes. And then Batman pops up and he's like, hey, where was she? Where have you been? Right? And then at some point, there's the whole, why did he say that name? Right. You can't have that now without the two of them in the same room.
No.
But yeah, that would be cool. I would love to see something like that. Obviously, all these characters would kind of be different, right? You don't have that version of Green Lantern. You don't have, everything would be slightly different. Maybe Black Adam's at this thing somehow too, right? But either way, this is exciting news. It gives us an idea of at least a direction or an idea of where to go. Look, man, no plan ever worked without making the plan.
Right.
It can't work. There's no plan. The plan can't just be, let's just go in there and shit all over everything. That can't be the plan.
It doesn't
and it doesn't work. So this is exciting for DC fans. I've become more and more of a DC fan. Listen, the best, Trevor, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. The best comic book movie to come out this year is The Batman.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's one of the best.
Is there anything
ever.
even close to this year that's came out that's got nothing? Nothing's even close. It's the best movie. In fact, I would argue that it's the best comic book movie that's come out since Logan. And that was like 2017. It's better than Endgame, Infinity War, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. It's better than, dude. The Batman is one of the best
like a
comic book movies.
type of
yes,
movie, like
it
it's
really
not just like
is
a real. There's lots. Marvel in that time made a lot of very, very good movies.
Yeah, fun movies.
Stuff I had a blast with, but nothing that could even.
This is a movie.
Tap that one on the shoulder.
This is a movie.
Yes,
this is
a
real
film.
movie. Yes, and
there people should study it.
And then before that you have the Joker, which is under the same lines. So there's been kind of a few wins now over at DC,
and Black Adam was kind of a win. I like Black Adam.
I thought Black Adam was fun.
Yeah,
like it's not a good movie.
No, but it was fun.
It's so many fun moments. By the time it's over, you're like, God, I love that thing.
Right? Like,
and I love Dr. Fate so much now.
Yeah.
And so I have all these things that I love about DC, and it's making me want to see them be successful. And now James Gunn's over there, and it's like, damn, this could really be something, man. And this is super exciting, man. I hope we get to see this come to fruition. Love nothing more to see, like I said, an old weathered Superman have to. Great. This is like Logan, right? Mm-hmm. He ain't popped his claws in over a decade. He's been just in his crystal solace thing,
right,
just chilling. Whatever he does, slowly aging, and he has to come out because he's like watching TV, I guess, right? And he's seeing like Booster go slap up criminals and shit, and he's like, "Oh, come on, man! You don't slap him up, you just arrest him." And he's got to come out of retirement to go slap Booster up. And like I said, then Batman jumps in and he's like, "This is awesome bullshit."
Right? How
does that not sound interesting, man? Especially with the characters we have.
Yeah.
Like if we can get Henry Cavill in that role, I mean, we build to it too, right?
Right.
Because we still get 5 years in the future of young Superman. We're talking about 10 years down the line, Think about how long it took for the Infinity Saga to complete, guys. So this isn't like a 3-year plan. Imagine this. Henry Cavill's now 55 years old. He's 58 when the movie comes out. And he's got the gray coming in on the sides, like this this beautiful Alex Ross picture that I brought up here. He's got the gray coming in on the side, and he's been our Superman for decades now.
Right.
Decades. And they brought him back in, and he's done so much, and he's been our core character, and that's what we've known and loved. And then one time years ago, they sent him away. And we haven't seen him for 4 or 5 movies. And then all of a sudden, we get him back. Dude, that sounds awesome. This sounds like a long play to me.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, guys, when we're thinking about this. This is something, again, I think about how long it took the Infinity Saga. 25 movies, 20 years, whatever it was. It was a long time. And I expect something similar to this. But, Trevor, you're hearing this news. Kingdom Come, Superman, James Gunn, Peter Safran, Green Lantern. Ah!
Okay. All right. Well, I've got to give it up to DC. I was thinking about it while we were talking. Man, other than Wonder Woman 84, the last several movies they've made have been pretty good. Like if not great. You know, like Batman, we were just talking about, obviously amazing. And then we had something like we had Shazam. Shazam is a really, really good movie. I really enjoyed that. Black Adam, very enjoyable movie. And again, if we remember back to those first Marvel movies, like a lot of those were just enjoyable. You know, like there was a few of them in there that were like, all right, okay, like Captain America 1. I really enjoyed that movie a lot, but there was just, you know, it wasn't like a perfect movie or whatever. And I'd compare that almost to Black Adam, you know, and all of these things, then knowing that, and then you add in the idea that Gunn's finally going to be in there, and he's actually got some direction. He knows where it's going. Mm-hmm. I'm finally freaking excited for DC because...
Yeah, who would have thought all it took was an idea? That's it, DC. It just took one idea. That's it.
Right.
You just needed an idea. Marvel had so many of them.
Right.
I mean...
Just give me one.
Days of Future Past, Infinity War. There's so many. Why?
You could
just an idea is all you needed, guys. Thank you, James.
Comics
Gunn.
are so good too. Like it's like when I was a kid. I mean, like I've never been like a huge comic book person. Like I always loved all the heroes and stuff, and I would always watch like all the TV and shows and stuff, but. I just never, like, I didn't have enough, like, money or, time to, like, go collect all of these things. So I never really got to, like, read a lot of the actual comics.
Well, but by the time you were growing up, what would you rather do? Read the comic or watch the 90s Batman animated series?
I'd watch the show.
Right, for
which is
sure.
what I did.
So by the time you were growing up, it was like, well, I got way better Batman over here, bro.
Right, like I don't know.
This is cool. All right, this is cool, and I'm glad it exists, but... It's Saturday morning, and I'm ready to watch Batman.
Right, I got my Lucky Charms. I'm ready to hang out and watch some Batman, baby.
For sure.
That is how I watched a lot of. That's how I really got my experience with a lot of that. But even with that, the any of the DC stuff I ever read or saw, I always loved DC. DC was always my thing. I didn't even really have that much of a conception about what Marvel really was. And I mean, I knew a few of the characters, but I didn't really understand that there was like a big separation between the two of them until I was probably, it was probably around the Batman, like the original, like not the original, but the Nolan trilogy that I started to kind of really have a conception that, oh, okay, there's two separate things and they're kind of going against each other. And I like the DC one because all of the ones that I would mention when I'd say like either Green Lantern or Batman or Flash or any of these things, they're all DC. And so the fact that DC was like so terribly stupid for so long was so depressing. But this actually, and all you really ever needed to do was just an idea and like something to actually aim to, like. It felt like what they were doing was they saw the success of Marvel and they said, let's take all of the outside elements of what Marvel is doing and like try and put something together from the outside elements, which you cannot make a story that way. You have to start from the idea and then pick up the elements as you go through and you create the story. And And, something like DC makes it very easy. Once you have that idea, you have so many good characters, so many good stories that you can drag that idea through to see what happens, but they never had a core idea.
Nope.
And
Never.
if they did not believe in it whatsoever.
Not even a second.
No.
Yeah, I think that what's his name? Zack Snyder. I think Zack Snyder had the core idea.
Yeah.
And I think in the beginning they were all about it.
Right.
But as things
Right.
did what they did, they were like, all right, we don't believe in none of this shit anymore.
Yeah.
But I think Snyder did have at least some sort of idea of what was going on.
And I'll say this as well about that is when you actually, and I cannot believe now that I'm sitting here saying this because people would tell me that this was the case. And I was like, you're an idiot. There's no way that cutting things around would change the way I felt about especially Batman versus Superman. Right. And honestly, like I went and I started with Man of Steel and I worked my way through it, watching all of the Snyder cuts. And by God, I actually really ended up enjoying the Batman versus Superman because I don't know what they did, but the extra 30 minutes of stuff managed to give context to a few things to where at the end I actually felt very strongly about what happened to Superman. And then, of course, one of my favorite purely comic book movies of all time is the Snyder Cut because it is one of the. I remember watching it the first time and I was like, this is a comic that has come to life. And it is 4 hours and it should have been 2 movies. It shouldn't have needed to be that 4 hours. But man, it paid off and it was a really amazing. I've seen it twice. I've actually watched that movie 2 times and it's 4 hours long. So it's like, I loved it. And when he had the idea, it came together, but they lost faith in it so fast that it never. I don't know if it would have been good because I like the first step in the plan. I like Man of Steel a lot, and the older I get, the more I like it. And it's just they got a little criticism, and they completely fell apart instead of just believing in what they have. Yeah. And I think if they would have just believed in it, and this is what the later on Snyder cuts told me, it wouldn't have been perfect. Is Batman vs. Superman still perfect? No. But it is a decent movie, and I enjoyed it. And Snyder Cut is actually a good movie. Like the movie, I actually really thought that was cool. So, there was at least something there, and I think they would have been making money. I think they would have, got butts in seats because they would have committed.
I agree that the Justice League or the Snyder version of Justice League was the superior movie. But to be honest with you, man, when I watched the Joss Whedon Justice League for the first time, it was probably 2018 when I watched it, and I watched it by myself at home, and I remember going, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie. It's not good either. But I remember going, yeah, I enjoyed myself. And it had moments where I was like, wow, this is really cool. And it had moments where I was like, wow, this is really dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I didn't really think there was much improvement that could be made. I think Zack Snyder's is an improvement, but like I said, I think it had all of the trimmings to be a great movie. You just got to believe in your creators, especially when you paid them and hired them to do such a thing.
And they already made half the movie.
Over half.
Stuff like that is the. I don't know, man. That whole Warner Brother. I'm glad that regime is dead.
Sure. I'm just glad that James Gunn's there, and I'm glad it looks like they have a plan. Guys, what are your thoughts on this whole Kingdom Come thing? Definitely let me know what you guys think about James Gunn and this idea. Is he just teasing with us? If he isn't, how long do you think this will see? Is this a decade-long plan to you? Is this a 5-year plan to you? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right. With that down, we are going to move on to, that was it. That is our last main topic today. We are going to jump over to the chat, see if we have any questions. I do want to mention, I forgot to mention off the top of the show that I did start a membership for the channel last night, and I expect you bastards to get on there and subscribe to it. I was the first to subscribe to it, as you can see in the chat. That's me, Key Toothman. That is I. I am now a member. Also, don't forget about that Xbox Series S for your last chances to send in that super chat today to win that bad boy. Also, Gene Toothman, unrelated to me, and I don't know him at all. Also, also has.
What are the odds?
Has became a silver member. So thank you, Gene. Let's see. Matt says. He hasn't seen the Transformers trailer yet, and he hasn't seen the Transformers movie in forever. Yeah, right. I mean, Trevor, you brought up The Dark Side of the Moon is what I believe it's called, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Is
The
that
third one?
I think so.
Yeah.
Wait, which one's Revenge of the Fallen? Is that the third? Fourth?
All right. Who knows? But I remember the one with the Battle of Chicago, The Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah,
I want to say that was the third one.
I think, man.
Who knows?
Don't care.
But anyway,
my brain is
anyway, I remember when I watched that movie not that long ago. Like I watched it in the last 3 or 4 years, and I remember I avoided it for so long. And I watched it, and I was like, man, that wasn't that bad. In fact, I remember it being better than it might have been the fourth, and I remember thinking it was better than 2 and 3. Okay, and I was like, okay, and then I was kind of on board, and I was like, oh, this is, you know what? It's got me back into it. And so then I threw on the one where they brought Mark Wahlberg in.
That's the fourth one.
Okay, yeah, that's bad.
Is it? Yeah, because it's...
So Dark Side of the Moon is 3 then.
How many are there?
That's what I'm saying, bro. There's like fucking 32 of those things now, man. There's just too many of them. But yeah, I don't care enough to count. That's for sure. Right. But let's see. But yeah, go check out the Beast trailer, man, for Transformers. It really does look good. It looks good. It looks like a lot of fun, at least.
Yeah,
it reminds me of that feeling of Kong vs. Godzilla, right?
Right.
Like I'm not here for storytelling. Yeah, don't tell me stories.
Right.
Make robots smash into each other.
Just find whatever. I don't need to see the humans. Just get them in there, have them start fighting. That's all I need.
Let's see. Matt also says he says, I completely agree with Trevor. Indiana Jones isn't somebody that we wanted to see at 80 years old. LOL. It would be very difficult to keep the action up with him like this. Exactly. That's what I said. There's literally a shot of him in the trailer swinging a punch, and you can tell his whole body is like stiff, like it's like
when De Niro and DiCaprio
when
De Niro
was in,
Robert
De Niro, right? He's
in
trying to kick and shit, but he's all like one board,
can't move,
like he's like one. It's not how you kick, Robert De Niro.
It's not like how he used to kick either. Like that dude used to hit like a train.
No. Let's see what else we got here. Matt mentions the mic was out. Yeah, I forgot to unmute the mic during one of the topics. Sorry, guys. Let's see. He also says, I mean, I understand that it's different with live action and anime, but some animes only take a month or 2 hiatus, and they have over 100 episodes, and some of their seasons 30 minutes apiece. Yeah, it's definitely a difference between live action and anime, but you're not wrong in the way, and back to what I was saying earlier, well, TV does it too. Shit, Supernatural would come out like every season at one point. It was like fall, Supernatural. Spring, Supernatural, like Jesus Christ,
Christmas, Supernatural.
So yeah, you can do it, but the problem is Supernatural ain't doing shit. It's like 2 dudes in a room stabbing a dude. That's anyone. You can make that, and we can make 100 episodes of that pretty quick,
right?
But when you got a Hulk. And you got a She-Hulk, and you got a dude that's slinging webs out of his wrists, and you got a dude that's a planet. Right. You got all of these things. It makes it really hard to get those kind of things done in a timely manner. Yeah, it takes years. In fact, we're seeing more and more like. When Spider-Man No Way Home came out, we seen that like up to 4 to 6 weeks after that, they were putting new versions out because they were still doing the graphics on it. And we've seen it opening night. And so I was one of the we were some of the only people to see the original version in its original format because
Really?
literally 2 nights later they changed it. And the stuff they changed, you wouldn't even believe. I mean, you should go check it out sometime because you're going to look at it and go, oh, wow, I don't remember it looking that bad. But I'm glad they changed it.
Right.
Because some of it is just not complete. And it's and what they do is they keep it real dark and stuff so you can't quite. And it's quick, dark stuff. But in the edits, it's a little more brighter because now it's
you
fully.
should be able to see
you want to
it.
see what we've created, our art,
Right.
And so and this has happened. It also happened with Sonic. Sonic actually, Sonic 2. Like 3 days before the day it was supposed to come out is when they turned in the movie.
Jeez.
Right? And that's happening more and more. That's how much it takes. Not to mention that there's literally like 40 different groups hired. And each one of those groups has like 300 artists that work on a scene. Like, and when I mean a scene, I literally, it could be like a 10-second part.
Yeah.
It could just be a scene where you cut to the Hulk punching someone. Just that one scene right there, this 3-second thing right there can take 7 months of animation work.
It really can.
I mean, that's crazy to think, and like I said, it's becoming more and more, and those jobs are like sweatshops. So, and they're a dime a dozen. Those dudes don't get paid well. They don't have a union. They're not unionized quite like the the Screen Actors Guild.
The rest
and
of that
the
stuff
things.
is extremely unionized.
Yes,
like, it's
and they need to be, man. Those dudes don't get treated right,
No.
and that's the true art form of movies now.
Yeah, they should be.
It really is. The true art form of movies is computer generated shit. I mean, that's the main shit people go out to see, guys.
Yeah, that's the big
It's
winner.
Kong vs. Godzilla and the Avengers, So, what else do we got here? Matt says his favorite comic book movie is either Scott Pilgrim or Sucker Punch. I still think Scott Pilgrim is like one of the best, like actual, like you said earlier about Justice League, looks like a comic coming to life.
Yeah.
Jeez. Nothing tops Scott Pilgrim for me.
No.
It literally is a comic book that has come to life.
It's so cool.
It's very beautiful and well done.
Love that movie.
And then he also says Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch. That's another Zack Snyder one. That movie is so beautiful. It's a terrible movie.
I can't remember what happens in it, but I remember going,
it's like
dang,
a
this is
girl that
cool.
gets a lobotomy and basically, or she gets lobotomized and basically has this kind of trip of her breaking out of the hospital with the other girls and killing all the doctors and all, but really she just got lobotomized. And if you watch that movie, if you put it on mute, and from beginning to end, you just put on like some Johann Sebastian Bach or some Beethoven or some Ludwig, or you put something like that on, some classic music, and you let that thing play, it's like watching the most beautiful piece of art you've ever seen in your entire life.
Wow.
But if you listen to it, there's a lot of it is just mainly what you're listening to is just score of them like fucking shit up and chainsawing people and shit like that.
Is Oscar Isaac's in that movie? I feel like I remember him being in that for some reason.
I don't remember.
I'm telling you, bro. I only remember. I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
And the only thing I remember about it, I was like, oh man, it looked very, very cool.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it is.
I
It
can't
is.
remember anything else about it.
Yeah.
I remember. I'm gonna see if I feel like it is Oscar Isaac's because I feel like
Yeah,
that
and
was
they
the
made
first time.
that Lollipop Chainsaw video game that was kind of based off of it in a way. It had inspired it, at least. Let's say that. And Lollipop Chainsaw was cool. It was like a girl in a hospital with a chainsaw, and she, it's the same thing. You're just murdering people in the damn hospital.
Okay.
And she's got like a lollipop because she's just like like Harley Quinn type
Okay, cool.
character. And that's exactly what Sucker Punch kind of is, right? But yeah, definitely a really good movie to look at. It's a very beautiful, like artsy movie.
Yeah.
He
always does that.
Yeah, no doubt. The Watchmen is the same way. Has lots of moments like that. The opening of The Watchmen with the comedian. I mean, again, literally,
So beautiful.
If you think about it, that scene is literally classic music playing and slow motion badassery happening.
Right. Or the part. This is the first time I ever heard Bob Dylan. Actually, is the scene of the times they are changing with his funeral.
Oh,
That is one of the most I mean,
just
I'm
the
just
opening.
picturing it right now. I'm getting goosebumps.
Just the opening,
Yes.
you know,
Oh my
that
God.
opening with where it shows the old characters and the times.
Yeah, that's it.
are
That's the one.
changed.
That's the
right.
one. That's the first
just
time.
that gives you goosebumps.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm thinking about it right
you
now.
know, they
It's so
test
beautiful.
they test screen that with multiple songs, and nothing got the same reaction as that "Times Are a Changing" song, and that's why they went with it, because it really impacted people to hear it and see what they were seeing visually coupled with that. So,
Well, I mean, it's oddly. I mean, that song it fits it because in a lot of ways. It is sort of a metaphor for them. You know,
It
it
is.
is
That's
like
right.
in a lot of ways, Bob Dylan is the comedian. You know, he is the guy that was charismatic and fun that just got too far out into the sea and he's like, fuck, man, this is not what I wanted to see. I don't know what I am anymore. You know,
Right.
so it's that, that guy visually, if he can get out of his own way story-wise, which sometimes he gets way up his own ass with story, but, you know, visually, that dude, I don't think that there's maybe anyone visually working today that does shit like he does.
no way. Yeah.
I mean, Baz Luhrmann does some cool
like
stuff.
me and
But
Shane often talk about, the sign of a good director is, you're watching his movie. Zack Snyder is one of those guys.
yeah,
Like, you can watch a movie, and I could, if it's by Zack Snyder, by the end of it, I'm gonna go, was that Zack Snyder that directed that?
yeah.
Because he just, his feel. But yeah, guys, that looks like it for the day. We appreciate all your questions, comments, all of that stuff. Make sure you guys go sign up for the new membership thing on the channel. Like I said, that's out. Make sure you're spreading the love on the Xbox video. We want to give that Xbox away to somebody before too long. And make sure you're hitting that subscribe button so we can get to that 20K subscriber goal so we can give that Xbox away.
Right.
But yeah, I've been having a blast here today. I've been joined here by my friend Trevor Farney. Trevor, where can people find you at?
They can find me at Instagram at the Mad Making Mind. That's me. That's my main thing.
Awesome. And you will be back here tomorrow?
Tomorrow. I mean, I can be here tomorrow. I can be here
That's up to you.
Saturday. I don't care. Either way.
Do you want to be here tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not doing anything
So
tomorrow.
you'll be back here tomorrow. So
Sweet.
sweet. Yeah, guys, and I will be back here tomorrow, and hopefully you will be back here tomorrow. Be back. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys then. And like I said, make sure you guys are spreading the love on the Xbox video and the memberships and all of that stuff. And we appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I see 3 of you guys in here. We should have at least 3 thumbs up. We do actually have 3 thumbs up. So good for you guys. We appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys. And I will see you guys back here, same time, same place tomorrow.